Welcome to this UASMaster and UASBox engine video helping us to run the processing of our point cloud with the status file. To run the point cloud generation either in Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetric module or in UASMaster with additional parameters, we are using a status file. And in this video here, we want to show for especially the semi-global matching, which is at the moment introduced in UASMaster, how to save your temporary files with a TIFF JPEG compression. And to show this in a more general way, this video wants to show now the whole process. So how does the file looks like and how is it generated, where does it needs to be copied in this case. So this is an advanced video and we hope you enjoy it. So what you need is a text file called exactly with this term, UAS.status. Please be aware that your folders are showing the extensions correctly and are not hiding unknown files. And this status file, the very first time, if you want really to generate every new version in a detailed way, you need to enter a text into it. It needs to contain following entry. It needs to contain the entry -create option file. You can of course also directly create the final solution that we will have, and this will then have in our case here an entry called -compression, and then in paraphrases it will be on. You could save it already this way and then we will save it in the necessary bin folder. But in our case here, we want to start here generating a full UAS.status file, and therefore please generate this file. And then we will take this file and copy it in UASMaster, or also when you want to add other parameters in the Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetric part, into their bin folder. So let's take it here, copy. And then we will now go here into the UASMaster bin folder, which is C, program files, Trimble, UASMaster 11.0 bin, and we will here make a paste. And we need then to enter this file. Typically, if you installed it from a different user, you need to give this file the permission to be overwritten. So please go to the properties, go to security, then choose your user. And in this case, if there are not full control options given, then please change them here. So in my case, I give for this one file full control. And just to double check, I return back and I look again at the status. And it should now include all the necessary informations to be used. This is important because the file will now be overwritten with the current existing settings when you start any project in UASMaster. Or on the other side, if you want to use this in Trimble Business Center aerial photogrammetric module, then you go to the bin folder of Trimble Business Center. And you will find this in C, program files, Trimble Business Center, info_UAS and bin. And then you would copy this UAS.status file into this folder. And that's it. So let's here go back in this case to our UASMaster case. We open in UASMaster a project. I'm using here the demo data that we have. You can use any project that you want. And I will then go into surface and auto generation. and then just start a point cloud generation. I typically use here LSM FPM in low because this is the fastest extraction method. Then I just start the process, and this one will now fail because it detects this UAS.status file automatically and will then stop the processing and fill this file with all the current possible parameters that can be also used in the advanced mode for our UAS engine. And therefore we can here ignore this part. If we go into our bin folder, then we can now see that this file is not anymore 1 kilobyte, but now it has 17 kilobytes. And if we take a look at the file itself, we can now see here not anymore this minus creation option file, but we can now see all options available. They are all deactivated, and we can see this because there are always 2 dashes in front of each command, and this means always this command is deactivated. If we want to write our output TIFF or JPEG images or TIFF images with a compression, then we can here go down into the entry of the image rectifier settings, and in this entry here we can now activate this compression parameter. So we just remove one of the 2 dashes, and then this command becomes active. But auto mains by default no compression, so compression is off. We want to make this compression on, and therefore we enter here now on into this one, and then we save this UAS.status file, and then this parameter becomes active for every project in UASMaster. And also if you would enter this into Trimble Business Center, then into the info folder, then it would also for every Trimble Business Center be used. To make it more better an overview, you can of course delete every other parameter. So we could here remove all the remaining lines and just leave this one single parameter, and then we see that this one is now used, all the other ones are not entered. And you could also save the status file in this way. Both is possible, so we just keep it here with minus compression on, and from now on every project run in UASMaster 11 will now make a compression for the temporary files in our temporary file folder structure. And therefore also when you run your projects, of course it makes sense when you change in the preferences your working directory to be used in the project directory itself, because then even when you have large data sets, you can then say that your project, you can save your project on a large disk, and then on this large disk the temp folder will be created in this way. So we hope this helps you to set up your compression for large data sets. This is mainly interesting for semi-global matching processing, which is available at the moment in UASMaster, and to create output folders with a smaller size. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it and have a nice day. Goodbye.